What if everything you thought you knew about your existence, your family, your struggles, your very purpose, was only a faint shadow of a forgotten truth? What if a forbidden 1200-year-old book revealed that your soul consciously chose this life, this body, and even your greatest pains, long before you ever took your first breath? For centuries, this sacred knowledge was hidden, erased by those who feared the unstoppable power of an awakened humanity. They buried the maps of your soul's true journey under layers of fear, confusion, and control. But the echoes of that ancient wisdom never fully died. They call to you still, through your dreams, your longings, and your quiet moments of wonder. If you've ever felt that life must hold a deeper meaning than what the world offers, you're not imagining things, you're remembering. Today, we'll unveil the sacred stages your soul passed through before incarnating, secrets that were never meant for the public eye, yet hold the key to reclaiming your divine mission here on earth. Are you ready to remember who you were before the forgetting? Imagine if there existed a forbidden 1200-year-old book that revealed the true stages your soul passes through before incarnating. A sacred map hidden from humanity for centuries. This ancient manuscript, known as the CX Anime, contained secrets so profound that they threatened the very foundations of societal control. For those brave enough to glimpse its pages, reality was never the same again. The old rulers, fearing the empowerment of the masses, worked tirelessly to erase this wisdom from memory, burying it beneath layers of dogma and distraction. Like a forgotten seed lying dormant in the soil, this knowledge has waited patiently, whispering through intuition, dreams, and sudden flashes of insight. The forbidden truths that once illuminated the soul's purpose were covered over with systems that taught us to fear death, worship suffering, and believe ourselves powerless. But even the strongest chains eventually rust. And today, fragments of the ancient teachings are re-emerging. The whispers have grown louder, reaching those who feel the hollowness behind the so-called real world. You see, 1200 years ago, the guardians of the CEX anime believed humanity was ready to remember. They revealed that our existence wasn't a random accident, but a deeply orchestrated journey of spirit. Our souls were never meant to be trapped in confusion and fear. They were designed to bloom, to dance, to awaken within the physical. When you stumble across a strange déjà vu, a deep yearning, or an unexplainable memory that doesn't seem yours, it is the echo of this ancient truth trying to resurface. The forbidden manuscript detailed more than mystical poetry. It laid out exact stages of the soul's preparation, choices and trials before being born. It challenged every narrative pushed by kings, priests, and conquerors who thrived on a sleeping, fearful populace. To awaken was to remember, and to remember was to become uncontrollable. Therefore, the book had to vanish, at least from the surface world. Yet within the collective unconscious, its codes still linger. Today, the walls separating us from that sacred knowledge are thinner than ever. Humanity is on the brink of rediscovering the path mapped out long ago. Those who feel the stirring within, who feel that life must be more than routines and regrets, are hearing the call. You, simply by watching this video, have already answered a deep summons from your soul. You are reconnecting with a story far older than any textbook ever dared to tell. This knowledge was never truly lost. It was hidden in plain sight, encrypted within myths, symbols, and the language of dreams. Every time you feel a tear in the fabric of a normal life, a longing for a truth you can't quite name, it's the forbidden 1200-year-old book reaching through time, inviting you to remember. It's not just about curiosity, it's about reclaiming a forgotten birthright. The right to know who you are before the world told you otherwise. And so, the journey begins, not by blindly believing, but by allowing the whispers of ancient memory to stir the waters of your mind. As we walk through the next stages together, Feel free to let skepticism rest for a moment. Open your heart, like a door left ajar on a warm summer night. The story that unfolds might just be the key you've been seeking across lifetimes. Long before you took your first breath, your soul was not wandering aimlessly in some cosmic void. Guided by ancient wisdom as described in the forbidden 1200-year-old book, your soul went through a conscious, sacred preparation. With clarity and intention, you chose every detail of your next incarnation. The family, the body, the environment, even the struggles you would face. It wasn't random. It was an act of supreme wisdom, designed to serve a mission only you could fulfill. Picture a serene, radiant hall beyond space and time, where souls gather like bright stars, each vibrating with unique colors and songs. Spiritual guides, beings older than memory, stand beside you, gently offering counsel but never commanding. They unfold before you the tapestry of possibilities, the lessons, the challenges, the triumphs that could ignite your soul's greatest growth. You weren't coerced or manipulated. You chose your path with eyes wide open, filled with courage, love, and a burning desire to evolve. Many people struggle with the idea that they would choose pain, loss, or hardship. But when seen through the eyes of the soul, these experiences are not punishments, they are sacred opportunities. Like a master artist choosing difficult materials to create a masterpiece, your soul selected the precise conditions needed to awaken your inner gifts. That's why some struggles feel eerily personal, because in truth, they are. They are tailored for your growth, designed in collaboration with your highest self. Imagine a young seed buried deep underground. From the seed's limited perspective, the darkness feels like imprisonment, but to the gardener and to the soul, the darkness is necessary for transformation. Without it, the seed could never crack open, stretch, and rise toward the light. In the same way, your pre-birth preparation recognized that difficulty was not cruelty, but a catalyst for emergence. You chose the storms because you knew you were built to weather them and grow stronger through them. According to the ancient manuscript, your soul even rehearsed key moments of this lifetime, critical encounters, life-altering crossroads, and spiritual awakenings were seeded into your timeline like cosmic breadcrumbs. This doesn't mean everything is predetermined. Free will remains sovereign, but the soul's preparation provides a kind of sacred scaffolding, an invisible architecture within which your choices sculpt the masterpiece of your life. Knowing this changes everything. Suddenly, life stops feeling like a cruel lottery and begins to shimmer with deep meaning. Your struggles are no longer senseless. They are messages from your past self, who loved you so much that they prepared you for greatness. Understanding the depth of your soul's preparation is the beginning of remembering who you truly are and why you are here. And so, we take a breath together and step forward. Ahead lies an even deeper understanding, the transformative view of pain and hardship. What if the very moments you wish you could erase are the ones your soul treasures most? Pain. It's the universal language that every soul, at some point, must learn to speak. But what if everything you've been taught about suffering is backward? The forbidden 1200-year-old book reveals that pain isn't a punishment, nor is it a sign of failure. It is a sacred fire, carefully chosen by your soul before incarnating, designed not to destroy you, but to forge you into something far greater than you could imagine. Think of a blade, raw and unfinished, placed into a roaring furnace. To the blade, the fire feels merciless, but to the master smith, the fire is love made visible, transforming mere metal into a weapon of strength and beauty. Likewise, your hardships aren't random acts of cruelty from the universe. They are the fires that temper your spirit, strengthening your resilience, expanding your compassion, and sharpening your wisdom in ways comfort never could. When viewed from the human mind alone, loss, betrayal, illness, and failure seem senseless, brutal even. But when glimpsed through the eye of the soul, every wound holds a hidden seed of power. The forbidden manuscript taught that every heartbreak, every moment of despair, was like a secret initiation, a rite of passage that your soul not only anticipated but embraced with unshakable faith in your ability to transcend it. Real-world examples of this hidden truth are everywhere. How many people have found their life's true mission after surviving unimaginable loss? How many souls discover profound love after walking through valleys of loneliness? It's not coincidence. Its design, just like a caterpillar must endure the apparent death within its cocoon to emerge as a butterfly, you too must sometimes allow parts of you to dissolve, to awaken what you were truly meant to become. This isn't a call to glorify suffering or to seek it unnecessarily. The forbidden 1,200-year-old book makes it clear the purpose of pain is transformation, not perpetual suffering. Like storms clearing dead branches from a forest, pain moves through your life to make space for new growth. It is a sacred teacher, not a jailer. The key is not to resist it blindly, but to listen, to ask, what am I meant to see, to learn, to become through this? And here's a powerful mental practice you can use. The next time you face hardship, pause and imagine your higher self watching you with immense love, whispering, "You prepared for this. You are ready." Let that remembrance breathe inside you. Let it ignite the knowing that you are not a victim. You are a soul fulfilling an ancient, sacred agreement with yourself. As we continue, you'll see how this understanding weaves into the larger design. Because what the forbidden book next reveals is not just that pain has a purpose, but that the soul's entire journey is mapped through 7 sacred stages, each preparing you for the divine leap into life itself. Before we continue unfolding these hidden stages, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a moment, a dream, a feeling, a strange memory that made you wonder if you chose this life before you were born? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience could awaken a memory in someone else who's searching for the same answers. Let's create a circle of souls, remembering together. According to the forbidden 1,200-year-old book, before your soul ever tasted the air of this world, it moved through 7 sacred stages, each one a deliberate, divine step preparing you for incarnation. These stages weren't chaotic or accidental. They were part of a luminous ritual, a journey of intention, woven by your soul and your spiritual allies with infinite wisdom and care. The first stage is the universal call. It's the moment when a soul feels an inner tug, a gentle but undeniable pull toward physical existence. Like a seed, sensing the seasons shifting above the soil, your soul answered a silent invitation, whispering, "It's time." This wasn't a random summons. It was an agreement your soul made long ago, promising to return to physicality for growth, service, and love. The second stage is the life review. Here, your soul reflects on past incarnations, lovingly and without judgment. Lessons learned, gifts discovered, wounds left unhealed, all are brought into the light. It's like a wise traveler unpacking an old suitcase before setting off on a new adventure, choosing carefully what to bring and what to leave behind. The soul gathers the wisdom earned and sets the intention to heal and expand even further. Next comes the Council of Souls. In a sacred circle beyond human language, your soul meets with guides, mentors, and sometimes even souls from your future life. Together, they explore your options, your possible missions, and the experiences that would best serve your evolution. Nothing is forced. Every decision flows from love and trust in your infinite potential. The fourth stage is the mission selection. With guidance, but ultimate freedom, you choose your purpose. It might be healing ancestral wounds, bringing new creative gifts to humanity, or simply learning unconditional love. The forbidden book reveals that even the so-called ordinary lives are infused with cosmic importance, because the smallest acts of love ripple across the universe in ways unseen. The fifth stage is choosing family and body. Your soul selects the environment, the genetics, the emotional climate that will best sculpt the lessons you seek. Yes, even the imperfections and challenges of your family are part of the sacred design. This choice often stirs deep soul contracts, agreements made long before birth to meet, clash, love, and grow together. The sixth stage is the passage through the veil of forgetfulness. In an act of profound bravery, your soul agrees to forget everything, your true identity, your mission, your eternal nature, so that you may experience life authentically. Without the veil, life would be a play you already knew the ending to. With it, every moment becomes a living choice, a genuine unfolding of free will, and finally, the leap of faith into birth. With a last loving look back at the realms of spirit, your soul dives into the physical world, merging with the tiny forming body. It's a breathtaking act of courage, the soul saying, "I trust myself, I trust life, I trust the journey." You are not here by accident. You are here because, in the deepest halls of existence, you chose this life with full awareness and love. Now that you know these 7 sacred stages, you can begin to see your life through a new lens. But why, you might ask, would a soul agree to forget everything? The answer lies just ahead, within the mystery of the veil of forgetfulness. Imagine standing at the edge of the universe, filled with luminous memories of countless lifetimes, brimming with the wisdom of the stars themselves, and then choosing to step through a veil that would erase it all. According to the forbidden 1200-year-old Bookie, this was not a cruel punishment, but a sacred act of courage your soul embraced before incarnating. The veil of forgetfulness is not a curse. It is the hidden blessing that makes your earthly journey authentic, meaningful, and alive. Without the veil, life would be little more than a scripted performance. You would know every twist, every heartbreak, every triumph before they even happened. True love would lose its sweetness, courage would lose its meaning, and growth would become impossible. By passing through the veil, your soul said, "I am willing to rediscover myself. I'm willing to forget so that I may remember, not through knowledge, but through experience." The veil allows for real learning. Learning born not from memorized facts, but from living, feeling, stumbling, and rising again. It turns simple acts, like forgiving someone who hurt you, or believing in hope against all odds, into cosmic triumphs that echo across dimensions. Your moments of confusion, your nights of doubt, even your deepest fears, all of them are sacred pieces of a greater remembering, planted like seeds within the soil of amnesia. The forbidden manuscript teaches that the veil is not total. Cracks exist, windows open, and whispers from your true self find their way into dreams, sudden insights, moments of overwhelming love or unexplainable knowing. Every time your heart feels pulled towards something greater, something beyond what the world can explain, you are touching the edges of the veil, peeling it back, even if only for a moment. Real-world practices can help thin the veil intentionally. Deep meditation, mindful dreaming, and heart-centered living act like keys, unlocking glimpses of your soul's eternal memory. Some ancient traditions taught specific breathing techniques, sacred chants, or visualization practices to awaken what lay hidden. You don't need to chase it, you only need to create space for it, and trust that remembrance is already seeking you. Understanding the veil of forgetfulness transforms how we see our struggles and longings. You are not broken because you forget. You are brave because you agreed to forget, and to find your way back home through the maze of life. Every insight, every act of love, every spark of truth you reclaim is a victory that echoes far beyond this world. And now, as we move forward, we enter a luminous chapter. The signs and awakenings that begin to tear the veil wide open, revealing the soul's memory piece by piece. Are you ready to start noticing the whispers that have been calling you all along? Spiritual awakening doesn't strike like a lightning bolt from a cloudless sky. According to the forbidden 1200-year-old book, awakening begins subtly, like the softest breeze brushing across your face, or the faintest echo of a melody you somehow recognize but cannot place. After passing through the veil of forgetfulness, your soul leaves clues scattered throughout your life, waiting for the moment you are ready to notice them. Dreams are often the first whispers, not the random, chaotic dreams stirred by the day's events, but those rare dreams that shimmer with emotion, vividness, and strange familiarity. In those sacred moments, your soul reaches across the veil to remind you, you are so much more than you think. A dream of flying, of meeting ancient beings, or standing before endless oceans of light. These are not fantasies. They are fragments of memory, pieces of the home you left behind. Intuition also begins to stir. You might feel an inner pull toward places, people, or ideas that seem irrational but undeniable. A sudden interest in ancient teachings. A deep sense of purpose awakening without clear cause. A persistent sense that there's something more. These are the subtle signs that the veil is thinning. Your soul is sending signals through your emotional body, asking you to trust feelings over appearances. Emotional echoes play a vital role too. Sometimes a piece of music, a painting, or even a simple landscape can move you to tears for reasons your mind can't explain. These are not random reactions. They are moments when your soul briefly remembers its timeless nature, when the heart recognizes a truth that the mind has yet to recall. Honoring these moments strengthens the bridge between your earthly self and your eternal soul. There are practical ways to nurture this awakening. Start with meditation, not as a rigid discipline, but as an invitation to sit quietly and listen beyond words. Journaling your dreams, practicing gratitude, and spending time in nature also act like tuning forks, helping you resonate with the higher frequencies of your soul's memory. You might also explore ancient spiritual texts, not as dogma, but as treasure maps filled with forgotten wisdom. As the veil thins, challenges often arise. Awakening can feel lonely, confusing, and even painful at times. Old structures, beliefs, and relationships that no longer serve your soul's journey may begin to crumble. Trust the process. According to the forbidden book, every collapse makes space for greater truth to emerge. Your awakening isn't a breakdown, it's a breakthrough into a larger, more luminous life. Now, as you start to feel the subtle but persistent pull of your soul's memory, you might wonder, why was all this wisdom hidden in the first place? The answer lies in understanding the forces that suppressed humanity's knowledge of its true spiritual power, a revelation we'll now uncover together. The forbidden 1200-year-old book doesn't just reveal the soul's sacred journey, it also exposes why this knowledge was hidden from humanity. Long ago, those in power understood a dangerous truth. An awakened soul is impossible to control. If people remembered their divine origins, their ability to create reality, and the sacred stages they chose before incarnating, no system based on fear, manipulation, or scarcity could survive, and so, little by little, the truth was buried. Sacred teachings were twisted into rigid dogmas. Wise teachers were turned into distant idols. Mystical experiences were labeled as heresy, madness, or sin. The old rulers replaced inner wisdom with outer authority, convincing humanity that salvation lay outside, in obedience, in conformity. The forbidden knowledge of the soul's power was locked away, not because it was false, but because it was dangerously true. Yet, no suppression is perfect. Across ages and cultures, pieces of the truth survived, hidden within myths, legends, and secret schools. Stories of heroes journeying into darkness to retrieve forgotten treasures, symbols of butterflies, phoenixes, and rising suns, parables that hinted at death and rebirth, at the soul's endless resilience. These were not mere entertainment. They were coded messages, slipping past the senses, waiting for those ready to remember. In your own life, you might sense echoes of this suppressed wisdom, a feeling that the world doesn't quite match your inner knowing, a hunger for truth that no material success or social approval can satisfy. These stirrings are not flaws. They are signs that your soul is awakening beyond the illusions carefully woven around it. You are beginning to see with ancient eyes. Real empowerment begins when you stop seeking permission to be who you are. Meditation, breathwork, intuitive living, deep study of mystical teachings, all these paths help dissolve the programmed fear and reawaken the sovereign soul within. Each act of remembrance, no matter how small, weakens the old chains and strengthens the bridge to your infinite self. The forbidden 1,200-year-old book isn't just an artifact of the past. It's a living current flowing through you now, whispering, "You were never meant to forget. You were never meant to be small." You are the living proof that truth cannot be buried forever. And as you continue awakening, you don't just free yourself, you help free the collective, lighting paths for others still trapped in shadows. So the journey doesn't end here. In fact, it's only beginning. Ahead lies the powerful choice to embody this ancient, forbidden knowledge in your daily life. But before we explore how to bring these truths fully into being, let's return to the start, to the mystery that pulled you here today. As you walk forward carrying these ancient truths, remember, awakening is not a destination. It's a daily choice. Every thought you realign, every fear you dissolve, every whisper of intuition you trust, is a step closer to living the life your soul carefully crafted before incarnating. You don't need to become someone new. You only need to remember who you've always been beneath the noise of the world, a soul forged in light, courageously walking through shadows to awaken not just yourself, but humanity as a whole. So I invite you tonight, before you sleep, to close your eyes and ask, what stage am I awakening to now? You may be surprised at the answers that come, not from the mind, but from the timeless memory of your soul. If this journey touched something deep inside you, I warmly invite you to subscribe and activate notifications. Not just to stay connected, but to walk this path of remembrance together, supporting each other in awakening the hidden wisdom we were always meant to embody. You're not alone on this journey. You never have been.